My name is Chia. I'm from the 10th Singapore Parliament. I contested under the NSP banner through the umbrella of the SDA. Okay. I had commented on past budget, especially my best was 2 years back in February 2006. That was the time that I learned that it's all lies, damn lies, and statistics. Okay? This was what I have said in Parliament, and this is what I have printed in the book. Okay? The government said that there is a deficit in year 2006 in their preparation. Actually, it is very misleading. There is actually 8.8 billion worth of revenue surplus in their calculation that is not reflected. In actual fact, the 2006 surplus is one of the best for the government. Okay? For the 7 months of this new government, they had about 6 billion of surplus. Okay? Not inclusive the 3 additional months for 2007. Okay? 2007 for the government had been one of the greatest government surplus in decades. Okay? So, the government has been not clear, not transparent. Government has been not clear and not transparent in their budget. Okay? And it gives the impression that we are always at deficit. Okay? I want to ask, some of you may be wondering, why are you here today? What's in it for us, for you to come and listen to us and hear us talk? Other than to come and support us, it is also the opportunity to hear alternative opinions, ideas, knowledge and understanding that you don't get from the main media. Okay? It's also for us to know the truth. And the truth is that the government's actual total receipt is more than the 41.1 billion that they had said yesterday. How much more? Any one of you know how much more? No. I also don't know. But what we do know is that land sales over 2006, 2007 and 2008 brings the government an estimate of 60 billion in revenue. This 60 billion is not reflected in the budget. There is a clear lack of transparency. The government chooses what it wants to reflect, and they paint a false picture for us. You want to know how much is our surplus receipt that the government is receiving? Not just their revenue statement. They are collecting more revenue than they publish in the statement. And they are not announcing it, and we don't know it. And do you want to know how much more? Put out your hand. Thank you. I see the majority. We must press the government to make sure that all government receipts, revenue receipts, must be reflected in the budget. 2. The government has been collecting and keeping more money than it needs. Don't be shocked. The government proposed 8.7 billion deficit in this budget. It can fund this deficit through its current surplus The government is only in office for 2 years, May 2006, 2007, 2008, 2.5 years. And it has more than enough surplus to cover this 8.7 billion deficit. It don't even need to draw down on the reserves. Okay? So why is it that the government is going to the president to ask for money, to ask for 4.9 billion to draw down on the reserve? If I'm the president, if I'm President Naden, I will not approve the drawdown. So far, I had put across 2 points. My whole analysis is based on this strong belief, this correct belief that the government has more revenue receipts than it dares to show, okay, than it dares to reflect, and that it has collected way too much more money than it actually needs to fund its expenses over the past decades and years. Therefore, this current projected 8.7 billion deficit at 3.5% of our current GDP is not something scary nor impressive. Now I want to talk about the budget component. There are two main components of the budget. One of them is the jobs credit scheme. It's actually a job subsidy scheme. It's good, okay? We have no problem with that. But I want to just say that there's no distinction between citizens and PR. Now is the time to make the distinctions clear and encourage PRs to convert their PRs into Singapore citizenship. Therefore, I will propose that the government put a minimum wage differential between citizens and PR. For example, the minimum wage for citizens will be at $3,000 and for PR will be at $2,000. Okay? And that will make a distinction for companies to want to retain Singaporeans as much as possible, or to employ Singaporeans as much as possible. Next, I want to talk about unemployment or the unemployed. How about the unemployed or the recently retrenched in Singapore? It's not their choice that they are retrenched. They are forced by the current circumstances. Most of them will have difficulty finding jobs in this market in this period of time. Okay? Therefore, it is our proposal, okay, that the government fund this retrenchment benefit, this retrenchment hardship allowance for people who are retrenched in close end of last year and this year for 6 months, okay, at 50% of their last drawn pay, or a max of 1,500 receivable monthly for 6 months. After 6 months, the government reviews it again. This will be a one-off program that if it can be absorbed from the current surplus, it will be good. If not, then we should propose for the government to draw down the reserves for such a situation. Okay, I will stop here and I will continue on later, near the end. Okay, thank you.